Welcome to Doozer Shop, and I'm going to show you the latest edition of a machine, actually a table, that's going to be added to the shop. Let me back you up and I'll show it to you. Go this way. And it's sunny out. It's been raining. Excuse the glare if this isn't coming through, but this is an oil table for a drill press. And it was made by Kingsbury. And I'll show you some in the background with some horizontal drilling head units. But anyways, it's got a pedestal for a base. And it's got a top where it's got an oil gutter all around the perimeter. And that's the plaque that says Kingsbury, and that goes on the front. This is the back where the coolant pump would go. I'll show you that coolant pump a little bit later. You come around to the actual front. I got it backwards kind of in my driveway here. And okay, you can see where the Kingsbury nameplate would go on that pedestal, that rusty spot. But notice the pedestal, it's kind of neat. It kind of go on this side. Try to stand where there's no glare. Oh yeah, I like that shot better. It's got like if you were seated in front of it, the pedestal is dished out for your legs if an operator was to be sitting on it. But I just thought it was a very cool, majestic looking table with the base pedestal being smaller than the actual table. I'm sure you've seen drill press tables before. I know Keith Fenner has a drill press table for his welding bench, so they were throwing this out at work. And I asked them if I could have it, and they graciously allowed me to. And I thought I could use it for a welding table or something else. So, real quick, there's two of these horizontal drilling heads on them. I don't think they're very good for anything. They drilled a hole in a part sideways, and they're both the same. But I just took them off. I thought they were no good for anything the home shop would use, which is kind of so. So anyways, I got all the so there's the control cabinets and the bracketry and all the push buttons such stuff that I stripped off of it because it was just this whole unit was sideways in the dumpster, like just sideways. And I snatched it out with the forklift. And yeah, I thought it was a very nice piece. It's 5 foot long and like 22 inches wide, a little under 2 foot. And you can see the huge oil trough gutter around the perimeter. Let me kind of go down low, and you'll see that the actual working surface plateaus above the oil trough by maybe 2-3 inches. But you can actually see, I'm gonna get close here. And there's schmutz all over it. But these are planer marks. Long planer marks. It's a piece of shim stock. But yeah, this thing was man, it made on a planer. So it's two pieces. It like bolts. There's bolts underneath, you know, where it separates. And like I said, that's where the Kingsbury plaque. You can maybe see there's 3 bolts. That's where the nuts bolts were for the oil pump, coolant pump unit. But anyways, this thing is really cool. The only bit of damage is there's a piece got cracked, and I can braze that in. Let me go on the other side from being knocked around. Yeah, there's like a hole there, and I guess they knocked it with the forklift. But that's easy to take apart and knock the piece out. You know, V out the where the cracks are, and braze it back in. I'll bring it up to temperature with a weed burner torch, and then you know, braze it back in with bronze rod. That's easy, and it's not like the whole thing's gonna wick the heat away in the brazing process, because it's on the corner of the oil trough. But anyways, I just got excited when I seen this. It's been in the rain here. We haven't rained here in a month, and now yesterday it rained at 6 o'clock in the evening. It started raining, and we've had kind of on-off rain all day. So, I mean, this will all clean up. It's greasy, it's oily. Got to pull some dowel pins out of the surface there, and you know, this will wire brush up clean. This green paint is nasty. This is like, of course, like 6 layers of paint on it, and they painted over an oily surface, so this will pressure wash. The paint will pressure wash off. I'm almost positive. Like I said, this is the back where all the stuff was, and the pedestal. Let me kind of show you again. Yeah, that's the front. I just think it's really cool looking. I absolutely think this is a darling little table. Like I say, about 2 foot by 5 foot. I could clean this up and put it in my living room if I could lift it in there, man. I mean, it is just so cool. One of the things I thought of, instead of a welding table, I mean, it's kind of narrow. Like, you know, this top working surface is like 1 foot by like 4 foot. Kind of narrow for a workbench, but it's just so cool looking, I couldn't resist it. So let me kind of show you. I was talking to my buddy Jim about this pump. So this is old school. Let me get even closer. So this is a half horse Lewis Alice, I guess Alice Chalmers motor, and that's a Brown and Sharp. You can kind of see the B, maybe the S. Brown and Sharp gear type coolant pump. And you can see the speed reduction. There's a small gear on the end of the motor shaft. It's actually got a bearing retaining nut. It's probably fine thread. Special motor. It's got a guard out of cast iron. It's actually got these old pumps, man. You can kind of see it's the packing. It's actually got a rope seal and packing in there. But I don't see much use for this pump. A submersible little giant pump would probably be the way to go. It's too bad they ruined the contactor disconnect. It's all beat up. This is a Bulldog. These Bulldogs are, I believe they're cadmium oxide plate, some kind of cadmium plated contacts. They switch real easy. Low operating force, but I don't care. It's beat up. I could straighten it. But you can kind of, it's neat to see. So here's the push button station for the two-handed touch controls. Somebody had riveted on the face, this galvanized piece. You can see the rivets, so there's different hand controls in there before. There's the other operator station for the motors. You can even see on the side, they riveted over openings with the galvanized tin there. So it's been in service since this is probably vintage 1950 or 1960, late 50s. And it's kind of neat to operate the drilling heads. There's an ASCO three-way valve, and they just, you know, when the maintenance department, they'll just replace it as long as it's a four-way valve. Yeah, it's a four-way valve, I believe. It doesn't matter the brand, they just get it working. So that's an ASCO four-way. There's a Norgren four-way valve, and geez, I don't know, this is like a Schrader bellows, or I forget the brand. It's like explosion proof with the cover. It's kind of neat. It was out of service, and it was stored, and nobody, they deemed it, you know, they didn't need it anymore. After storing it, they chucked it in the dumpster. I saved it from being sideways in the dumpster. And let me kind of show you the drilling fixture that was on it. pardon the mess in the background, some kind of a, had like a proximity sensor, part detection. There's like a Bimba air cylinder, and it drilled in from this side and the other side, and I saved the filter regulator off it. I don't even know if it's good, but yeah, this was the drilling heads, man. I have no use for these. I might save the dovetail slides because the quill would go in and out, and the dovetail slide was just for rough adjustment and never really moved in actual usage. So, and I gotta see what the tag says. I'll get the paint off of it. I doubt it's like a Gilman. Maybe it's actually a Kingsbury slide, but we'll have to see. Oh, and speaking of identification, this is obviously a Kingsbury with the name placard on the side. There's 2 tags. Oh, come on, camera. Yep, there's a round tag, and then there's a square one. Maybe it's the machine dealer that sold it, but I'm gonna carefully strip the paint off and see what those are. So that's kind of cool. I wanted to do a video. I'll do you a little update video in the shop. This may not come in because it's darker in the high bay. So I picked up this vise on Craigslist. Got it for $150, and it says CCCP. It's Russian. It's pretty cool. It's got lockdown jaws. The jaws actually have pull down slide wedges, and it's a shaper style vise. The lead screw is attached in the back where the fixed jaw is, so it pull clamps as opposed to push clamps. That like a milling vise push clamps. But anyways, 11-inch wide. I'm sorry, no. 10-inch wide jaws. It opens to 11 inches. Really good condition. No pecker holes from being used on a drill press. Yeah, cool Russian milling machine vise. I could use this on the Giddings and Lewis horizontal boring mill or whatever. You go in the shop. I've been using the tractor there yesterday, moving a ton of dirt for the planned shop expansion before the rain. You kind of walk in the shop. Alright, kick the lights on there. Alright, I was telling Mark about this. It's a Brown & Sharp 13 angle dresser. I'm cleaning it up, stripping the paint. Kind of show you. So this cabinet, one of my subscribers, Jim, gave this to me, Jim C. And it's got a, well, I'll show you the back. I know this is kind of, that's a pegboard perforations. And these are the wings. There's a wing and a wing also with the pegboard. And I actually, you can kind of back up. All right, I pressure washed this, and over the green was this gray, and it started peeling off. Some of it did, some of it didn't. I like it. I think it's got a great patina look to it. I'm gonna leave it, but there you go. You can kind of see. Yeah, I can't back up because my stuff is in the way. So, got the pegboard holes and nice locking cabinet. Everything's nice and clean. I had yellow in there at one point, and who knows. I got a Noga arm. This actually is in size. Yeah, in size, but I swear it's a Noga. It's just I paid $32 for this. It's a Noga. I just branded with the in-size brand. And I had one. I showed this before. This is German or something. So this is hydraulic. There's actually oil in the arms, and the Nogas are mechanical. But either way, so yeah, got that. So that's, I think, going to be for either collets or grinding wheels. I'm leaning towards grinding wheels. I'm going to put it to the left of the window, between the Sagami lathe and the Harding lathe and the Brown & Sharp 13. So thought I'd give you a quick update of what I was doing, some acquisitions. So until next time, this is Doozer Shop.